Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today. Today I have a deeply restorative meditative practice for you, one where we'll use quite a lot of props. So I do have a yoga bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can improvise with 2 or 3 pillows, stack them on top of one another, or a really thick blanket rolled up nice and tight. I've got 2 blocks there. You can improvise with a thick book if you don't have the blocks, and also a yoga strap. So if you don't have the strap, anything you can loop around the foot, belt, a scarf will do the trick as well. So it doesn't matter if you don't have these actual yoga props, there's plenty of things we can improvise with at home. So today's practice, I want you to be ever so mindful of your breath. The magic in your practice lies with the breath. The first step to meditation is choosing something to focus on. So I want you to choose the breath, moving the body, to be your point of concentration. Anytime the mind wanders off, simply guide it back to those subtle sensations of the breath. Maybe the breath touching the nostrils or the navel expanding as you inhale. The way that we feel is always reflected in the way that we breathe. So do try to find those lingering pauses before you exhale. It's a very effective way to soothe the nervous system. So today I will be leaving you in shavasana. Please take as long as you need to in that rest position. And if you do enjoy the class, please do like and subscribe. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Let's begin. We're going to start with our bolster or your pillows and coming into a prone position on our navel. So bring your lower belly down onto the very edge of your prop. And then from here, bend your left knee out to the side. So the knee is about the same height as the hip or thereabouts. And you can turn your head either to the left or the right, wherever is most comfortable for your neck. And commencing your diaphragmatic breath, your belly breath. As you inhale, you should feel your navel expand and press against the bolster. Take a moment to pause there before exhaling slowly. We are only here for a few breaths. The magic in your practice lies with the breath. And let's change sides, lifting the head, bringing your left knee back in, taking the right knee out. And settling yourself down for a few mindful breaths. You may even start to feel a pulsing sensation through the navel. And remember, to deepen the pose, we simply need to deepen the breath. And when you're ready, bringing your right knee in and gently pressing yourself up off the bolster. Well done. Let's move that prop to the side for the next pose. Coming into your puppy pose. So keeping the hips up nice and high above the knees, reaching the arms out in front as far as they will go. A few choices here. Either keep the arms straight and have the hands as wide as the mat, forehead resting on the floor. If your head doesn't come down with ease, you can always rest your head on your block or your book. If you have a shoulder injury or you're experiencing pain, then leave that arm out of it and use the back of that palm as a pillow instead. Third and final option, you might like to bring the hands into prayer above the head, in which case, take the elbows a little closer. And beginning to observe the breath in the upper body. Feeling the ribs and chest expand in all directions as you inhale. A lingering pause before you exhale slowly, softening towards the mat. And on your next inhalation, start to lift the head up, walk the hands back. Let's recruit our bolster or your pillows, blanket once again. This time taking the bolster across the mat so it's running parallel to the short side of the mat. Needing your blocks here as well or your thick book to rest your elbows. So again, we're going to bring the navel down onto the bolster. This is a modified sphinx pose. So forearms can rest here on the blocks. Now, if you prefer to practice this pose on the mat without the prop under your belly, please feel free to do so. We'll only be here for a few moments. If you can, keep the shoulders relaxed. Softening the jaw. And feeling the pulse of the breath move the body against the bolster. And each time your mind wanders, just coming back to the rhythmic sound of your breath. Each breath is a new opportunity to be present, to be here now. And let's prepare to move, yogis. Pressing your hands down into the blocks to push yourself up. We'll take the blocks to the side and just turning your pillows or your bolster now so it's running alongside of the mat once again. Coming into a prone twist. We'll sit with our right hip touching the bolster. Hands are either side. We want to bring our navel down into the bolster, as much of the torso as you can. So inhale to lengthen and then exhale to lay yourself down. If you find that your hips need support, you can always position your block in between the thighs. If you find this incline is too steep on the bolster, you can always prop up the end as well. And again, head can turn left or right depending on your neck. And while we're resting here, let's practice Vishama Vritti, our uneven breath. We're going to have a longer exhalation. So I'll count, we'll inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, hold 2. Please ignore my count. If you're straining in any way, find your own count with a longer exhalation. Let's breathe out together. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding 1, 2. Let's follow the next inhalation, lifting up out of the pose. So changing sides straight away, you can either come to your knees or you can lift up into a brief downward facing dog. And then in your own time, pivot those feet. Bring your left hip down to touch the bolster, lengthening the spine before you lay yourself down. And once again, feeling the navel press against the bolster as you inhale. Gently drawing the navel in towards the spine as you exhale. And practicing Vishuddha once again. Let's breathe out together. And inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding 1, 2. And let's inhale, lifting up out of the pose. Well done, yogis. Just moving your prop to the side. We're going to come down onto our back, but make sure you can reach everything. And then we're going to use again either the bolster, your pillows, or your blanket in a supported bridge pose. So we want to bend the knees, lift the hips, and slide your prop in underneath your bottom. And then from here, take a hold of your strap. We'll wake up those hamstrings. Taking the strap or your scarf or your belt around the ball of the right foot. And a sense as though you're breathing into the right leg. Now, of course, if you can reach the foot and you don't need the strap, you can always take that to the side and collect the foot or the leg. Just be careful not to overstrain. We want to release tension in the body and create space from the inside out with ease and by deepening the breath, not by forcing the body into a particular shape. And you can release the hold of the strap or the foot. Raise your left leg as well. Might even like a brief moment with both legs coming overhead. And then from here, we'll take the legs out nice and wide as you inhale. As you exhale, bring them back together. Option 1 is recline pigeon, right ankle to the left knee, and you can take a hold of that left leg. Option 2, recline cow face leg. So you'll cross at the thighs and then bend the knees. Either holding the knees, the calves, or the feet. whichever pose you're in, guiding the legs a little closer towards the chest. Be mindful of your knees and hips. Don't overstrain. Again, avoid trying to fit the body into a certain shape. Just feel into any tension or tightness. Breathe into that space. From here, yogis, lower your right leg down to the floor. Keep a hold of your left knee. You can bend that leg, or if it feels okay for your back, straighten and relax. And getting a nice sensation there through that hip flexor. If you have the urge, you can always make circles with the left foot, or point and flex, whatever feels good. Well done, yogis. Let's bend the right leg if it's not already. Take a hold of your strap again, this time around the left foot. Or you can omit the strap and just take a hold of the leg or the foot. And inhaling, right leg up. Option to take a hold of both legs. Breathe into the belly, into the back. And then legs out wide, either recline pigeon or gomukhasana, left leg. And let's unravel those legs. Continue to hold onto the right leg this time, lower left leg down. Relax. And for your last few breaths, releasing the right leg. You might choose to rest with both legs bent or straighten and relax the legs. Arms can be by your side or above the head. And from here, yogis, we'll bend the legs if they're straight, lifting up the hips and simply rolling your bolster or sliding your pillows down so that they are now resting behind the knees as we prepare for shavasana. But just before we come to shavasana, we're going to release any tension in the neck first. So take a hold of one block or your book and placing it under the head, make sure the very edge of that prop is meeting the base of your skull. So a little self-massage here, moving very slowly with the breath. As you exhale, let your head fall to one side. Then as you inhale, starting to come back to center. Before exhaling to the other side. Feeling the meeting point between the back of the head and the prop. And if you'd like to take longer, please do so. Whenever you're ready to finish this neck release, just be sure to complete the cycle. So finishing on the opposite side that you started. And then in your own time, you can remove that prop as you lower into shavasana. Allowing the forehead to soften. The eyes to roll back. Tongue and jaw relax. And taking this time to just be in this newfound spaciousness. Quietness.